So Pennsylvania is seeking to require background checks and serialization of all ammunition sold within the state. So let's talk about this. But real quick before we jump into this video, if you think that we don't need background checks and serialization of ammunition, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Also, I want to thank one of the main supporters of the channel, which is Route 66 Shooting Sports Park in San Bernardino. If you came out to the Armed in May event, you know how amazing that range is, how amazing the staff is down there. So if you're in the Southern California area, if you're in the LA area, I highly recommend you check them out. And thank you, Route 66, for supporting this channel. I also want to let you know that this content is powered by the Firearms Policy Coalition. So head on over to joinfpc.org to help support the Second Amendment cause. Thank you again, Firearms Policy Coalition, for supporting this channel. So like I said in the intro, the state of Pennsylvania has introduced two bills which seek to restrict individuals' access to ammunition. One of the bills has a background check element to it, and the other bill has a serialization of ammunition mechanism to it. So let's talk about these. The first bill we're going to talk about is House Bill 393, and this is the background check for ammunition sales. Pennsylvania State Representative Brian Sims has introduced House Bill 393 for consideration. This bill would require a background check in order for an individual to purchase ammunition within the state of Pennsylvania. This bill states that no licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or licensed dealer shall sell or deliver any firearm or ammunition to any person other than a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, licensed dealer, or licensed collector, gun range, or target facility, or in the case of ammunition, a person who purchases or receives the ammunition at a gun range or target facility if the ammunition is kept within the facility premises at all times until the person undergoes a background check. So real quick, essentially what that's saying is if a gun store is going to sell ammunition to a person, they have to run a background check first. Additionally, this bill would also only allow licensed firearms dealers to sell ammunition to residents in the state of Pennsylvania. So this takes the form of people in PA not being able to purchase ammunition from whoever they want at any time. Essentially, online purchases will go to the wayside because all of those online purchases cannot simply just go to your door anymore. They will have to go through a licensed dealer, an FFL, a gun store. This bill states under the remote ordering section, firearms or ammunition may be purchased over the internet or other means of remote ordering if a licensed importer, licensed manufacturer, or licensed dealer in this Commonwealth initially receives the firearm or ammunition and processes the transfer in compliance with this section. So they're saying, yeah, maybe you could order ammunition online, but it has to be sent to that dealer first, has to be sent to that gun store first, and they're going to have run that background check for you to then receive that ammunition. Now, penalties for a dealer selling ammunition to someone without a background check can be a misdemeanor of the second degree all the way up to a felony of the third degree, depending on the circumstances surrounding the sale of ammunition. Now, if you're watching this in the state of California, this may sound eerily familiar to you, and that is because it is. The state of California has a similar scheme that it has enforced. This scheme in the state of California requires two different types of background checks depending on your situation, either a basic eligibility check or a standard eligibility check. Essentially, they're just two different forms of a background check. And they require ammunition to be sold only during face-to-face transactions, similar to what this PA bill is attempting to do, where people cannot simply just order ammunition online straight to their door. They have to go through a gun store, an FFL who's going to run that background check first. But along with that, also what happens with a lot of these online ammunition purchases is that the FFL is going to charge a transfer fee for that ammunition to be sent to them. So that you got a transfer fee that gets attached to that ammunition purchase. And then you're also going to have the fee attached to it as well to run your background check. And Pennsylvania will be no different than some of those other states that have ammunition restrictions. This will largely impact those individuals of lower socioeconomic means because when you think about it, ammunition already is higher cost. There's some concern about Russian ammunition being limited by the Biden administration. And then you tack on those high prices with the transfer fees plus the background check fees, and this will greatly impact those individuals who simply don't have all the money to pay these prices. So that is just one bill that the state of Pennsylvania is introducing. And that bill is targeting ammunition, but there is another bill that also targets ammunition, and that is House Bill 1786. And this bill takes it a step further and seeks to require serialization of all ammunition sold within Pennsylvania. So House Bill 1786 seeks to establish encoded ammunition and an encoded ammunition database. This bill states that a manufacturer shall encode ammunition provided for retail sale within the state of Pennsylvania. And that whole encoded ammunition essentially is just talking about serialization. And they have to do it in specific ways. This bill says that the base of the bullet and the inside of the cartridge casing of each round in a box of ammunition must be serialized with a unique serialization number that is attached specifically to that box of ammunition. And then that box of ammunition will have that serial number. And then that same serial number for that box will be put on each bullet within that box. Now, as if the state of Pennsylvania wasn't crazy enough for trying to implement this scheme, they also go as far as to state in this bill that on or before January 1st of 2022, an owner of ammunition for use in a regulated firearm that is not encoded by the manufacturer in accordance with that subsection shall dispose of the ammunition. So they say that if you own ammunition that is not serialized in accordance with that bill, you will have to throw it away before January 1st of 2022. So right now, essentially, with the way that ammunition prices are, they're essentially saying that they want you to throw money away. Now, you may be thinking to yourself at this point, what good is serialization without a database? Well, this bill has this all covered. This bill creates an ammunition database that will be funded purely through taxes paid on each purchase of ammunition within the state. A person will be required to pay 5 cents per round of ammunition that is purchased. So the cost to infringe on your Second Amendment rights will be funded purely by the taxpayers. Those taxpayers are the ones who are going to have to fund this database and this restriction on their Second Amendment rights. Now, of course, with all of this, police officers are exempt from having to pay that 5 cents tax. So this is clearly an overreach of the Second Amendment rights. And if you're in Pennsylvania, I highly recommend you reach out to your local representatives. However, the larger takeaway for people not in Pennsylvania is that this law and laws like this are not isolated incidents. Ammunition background checks started in areas like California, and they are now being implemented and they are trickling into other states as well. People constantly make fun of the state of California and gun owners in California, especially with things like this, with the ammunition background check that we had in California, making fun of the state. But now we're seeing those same gun control laws trickling into other states as well, and each time they're getting worse and worse. Now, we will see if this bill gets any traction in the state of Pennsylvania, but it's definitely something concerning that we will be keeping our eyes on. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try to answer the best of my ability. Also, if you like this video and like to support the channel, one of the best ways to do that is to like, comment, and subscribe. All those things help to fuel the algorithm or fuel Al Gore's rhythm. It helps to add fuel to his jet. It signals to YouTube that you guys see value in these videos, in this type of two-way news, and it helps us spread the word about these issues. So thank you so much to everybody who's liked, commented, subscribed. I just want to also say double check to make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube plays games where they like to just do mass unsubscriptions of people, and I get comments all the time from people saying, hey, I was unsubscribed, and YouTube does that from time to time. So just make sure you're subscribed. And thank you to everybody who's commented. And if you don't have a comment in mind, just comment down below that you're commenting to fuel the algorithm. That really does help the videos, and I really appreciate that. So as always, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And never forget, this nation was built by armed scholars, and this station will maintain by armed scholars.